Now since Berserk, chapter 356 won't be coming out for a while, I figured that I'd talk about and review the chapters of Berserk starting from volume 1. I'm at least going to try to do 2 chapters per week. And yes, I will review chapter 83 in the near future. I'm also going to be honest about how I feel about the chapters, and you might not like what I have to say about them, but hopefully you'll see where I'm coming from. So let's do this and review Berserk chapter 0A, the Black Swordsman, or the first chapter of Berserk. As the story starts off, our main character Guts is having sex with a beautiful woman, only turned out to be the first apostle in the series. Thinking that she has him cornered, Guts surprises her with a trap of his own and kills it with his arm cannon. Pretty crazy he kills the apostle that ate Korkut, who hates Guts, and it was Guts that avenged his death. Even though that he's dead and probably still hates Guts, he may be a little happy in the afterlife. As Guts is walking into the next town, he notices a carriage full of women and children heading towards the castle. Meanwhile, in a bar, we get our introduction of Puck, and of that's being told with by bandits. Guts pays the bartender and brings his assault to the bandits that's torturing Puck. Even though this is the 80s art style, it still looks pretty damn good. As soon as he kills most of the bandits, Guts warns one of them to tell his master that the Black Swordsman is here, and before the bandit behind him could do anything, Guts pulls out a sword which is called the Dragon Slayer and cuts a man in half. And the first time seeing this, I was like, this is a very cool 2-page spread that Miura did to introduce it. Afterwards, Guts leaves, as Puck follows him, wanting to thank him for saving him. Before he can sit on Guts' shoulder, Guts flicks him off and tells him not to touch him, as you soon realize later on in the chapters. After that, Guts gets surrounded by the soldiers of Toga and Puck takes off, while Guts is captured and tortured, which doesn't faze him. The mayor comes in telling Guts off about how the town's going to be destroyed just because of him, and that there is no one that can stop their lord from causing all this carnage. But Guts sees right through him, telling the mayor that he offers the women and children as sacrifices, not to protect the town, only to protect himself, which angers the mayor, and tells the torturer to keep inflicting pain on him before handing him off to the lord. Which is weird because you kind of wonder why he just didn't do that in the first place. Also, this reminds me of Griffith and the King, only the torture part that is. The mayor then travels to the castle, begging his lord for forgiveness, but to the lord it doesn't matter, because he wants to cause as much carnage as he can, and for the joy of it, before having the mayor killed off. Meanwhile, back in the dungeon, Guts is unable to move due to the torture he received from the torturer. He noticed that there's something in the room with him. And this is where we get our introduction of his son, the demon baby. As the baby gets closer to Guts, Guts gets hostile and telling him to stay away. It makes me sad to see Guts treats his son like this. Then again, Miura said in an interview that he wasn't even supposed to be his son. Anyway, before anything can happen, shows up with a set of keys, only for Guts to realize that the demon baby was gone. Puck wanted to save Guts for setting him free, and he tries to heal Guts, but Guts is reluctant to do so. Puck ignores him and heals him anyway. He also wanted to know why Guts was in town, but he also noticed something on his neck. Guts only tells him that it's the brand and that he'll soon find out. Puck also wants to know why does he want to drag the townspeople into this carnage. Guts shows his cruel nature and tells him that if you're weak you deserve to die, and that you can't live your own life you deserve to die, having Puck feel his emotions. Makes you think of what happened with Casca wasn't in the series before he started on Berserk. But again, Casca wasn't planned from the beginning. Puck then asks why did he save him. Guts laughs and mocks him by saying that I wasn't there to save you at all, leaving Puck to hit him and leave off while being sad. Guts tries to call him back, but then the brand starts reacting and blood oozes from his neck, as he's been waiting for this. Back at the town, Puck looks in horror as he sees the Snake Lord and the soldiers destroying the town. As the soldiers charge on, Guts emerges from a pile of corpses and fires off his arrows at the soldiers charging at him before using the Dragon Slayer for the rest of them. Then the Snake Lord charges at Guts, only to be shot down, and then he gets back up as nothing happened. He then gets shot again into a building, only to whip Guts away from him and showing him his true form, as a Snake Man. The soldiers are frightened by what they see, and they take off. Guts is having a hard time fighting against the Snake Lord, and as he is about to get killed, Guts uses his arm cannon to blow half of his face off, which gives him time to pick up the Dragon Slayer to cut him in half. Now this picture is amazing. The way he has the angle when he cuts off the Snake Lord, this just looks so gorgeous, man. I know it looks bloody and disgusting, man, but this just looks so cool. On the verge of death, the Snake Lord begs for his life, but Guts ignores him and just started torturing him for the location of the 5 remaining God Hands. The Snake Lord doesn't know, and then Guts leaves him off to die. As Guts walks off, Puck takes a moment to look at Guts, and then he says these words, Berserk. And that's the end of the first chapter. Now for me, to be honest, I thought the chapter was okay. Maybe it's because I watched the 1997 anime first, but I did like the way how it started off, because at the time I never read a manga that started out that way. I like how Miura kept the info about the brand a secret, to keep the readers coming back to see what's next. I like the 2-page spread of Guts cutting the Snake Lord in half. I like how he didn't waste Puck and made him useful in this chapter. Now to be honest, the whole sacrificing the women and children to save the town did nothing for me since I've seen a lot of anime, manga, and movies do this before. Since I started reading the series in 2004, I still get irritated by the fact the demon baby was left out in the 1997 anime and the movie, which is going to play a big part in Berserk. The Snake Lord was okay, the fight was great, but his actions did nothing for me since I've seen it before. Other than that, I thought this was a solid chapter. It makes you want to read the next one to find out what the brand does, and to see what else happened before the Golden Age arc. This was my first time I saw Kentaro Miura's work in a manga. Even though the artwork's from the late 80s, it still looks pretty damn good to this day. And when I got paid for my first job, I got that manga right away, and I don't regret it. And that's it for the review for Chapter 0A, The Black Swordsman. Pretty solid, makes you want to see the next chapter. But how do you guys felt when you first read this chapter? Let me know. This is JMC. Later.